Okay, I literally just woke up to this and I have to talk about it. A lot of you asked me in the last video I made about the psychology of Sadia psychology to talk about what's been happening ever since. And the video was like 3-4 months before everything that recently happened. And thank you all for your comments, encouraging me and complimenting how I saw all of this way before. So thank you so much. And yeah, when people asked me to comment on what's happening, I was like, nah, I said all I wanted to say. And some people were like, nah, you gotta talk about it. And when I saw this video, I was kind of excited to see what she would say. Also, the person that's interviewing her is somebody that I used to watch a lot. He's got a really good channel if you're somebody that's looking for another passport somewhere else. So yeah, he gives really good advice. That is something that I'm definitely gonna do when I'm super duper rich. So fingers crossed. So I'm going to watch that video for the first time, like right now, and comment on it live. I also must say that the festivals just started where I'm at right now. Literally today is the first day of the festival. Notice I'm not saying holiday season. No, it's festivals. You're gonna hear drums, maybe. You're gonna hear bells, singing. That thing that sounds like an elephant. I don't know the name of it. Yeah. So it's gonna be noisy, but man, I want to talk about this. I want to watch the video and comment on it. So let's go. If you hear any noise, just try to ignore it or enjoy it. All right, let's get into it.
Having me, such a privilege.
You have been yourself in the news recently.
I have.
There's some salacious rumors swirling around.
Absolutely. And, I don't like to give anything too much light, but unfortunately, and I think I heard that you talk a little bit about this, the people who are craving what you have and are bitter that they don't have access to some of the luxuries or the kind of privileges that you might have got, they want to always take it down. So there's been some awful rumors, zero truth to any
What are the rumors?
The main rumor is that I was having an
Okay, if you've watched my last video about her, don't you think that it's kind of ironic that her point of view is that whoever is saying things about her are people that are jealous? Now, to be fair, I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt, okay? I'm going to be as neutral as I can and think from all points of views, right? Usually, when people make such hate comments online about somebody, usually, actually, yeah, they are jealous, like, for example, Justin Bieber. I also made a video about Justin Bieber if you want to watch it. I talked about how the guys that used to hate on him were actually guys that some of them were his age at the time when he was like 15 and 16, right? Because their girlfriends loved him and they saw him all over the globe, not just the country, right? So there was jealousy there. And one thing as a creator, that now I have a presence online on YouTube. I've heard from so many teachers that teach YouTube and everything to do with YouTube. They say that once you get a hate comment, you're succeeding. So it is a factor that sometimes people online are just jealous of what you have, right? However, I don't like that she led with that. But let's see what she's gonna say next.
affair with a married man, which has never, ever, ever happened, or even engaged or in a relationship, man. That's
Someone
never
said
happened.
you were engaged. The guy was married.
The man was engaged.
The man was engaged.
The
You were
man-
not married. You're
you
just
were-
running around.
I was running around breaking up homes, which is zero truth in it. And the people behind the rumor will never be able to produce any evidence for that because they know directly that that's not true. They actually know for a fact that that's not true. But that's kind of the running game. And that I'm this side chick who charges £8,000 an hour to help marriages, even though I'm a side chick. So I don't charge £8,000 an hour. I wish. I mean, it's a great rumor to have because it kind of ups your stock, but it's definitely not the case. I actually charge £500 at most per hour, and there's zero truth to the married side chick man. And people behind that rumor can never prove that. And they're trying their best to, but they can never.
So are you refuting it point blank?
Point blank.
You've never been with an engaged or married man?
Never, ever engaged, married, relationship. And if the people behind that rumor claim that they've spoken to this man, I would love for that man or these people to bring that man.
There was like, oh, you talked to the woman and she said give it your best shot or something?
Something about that, but no, there's zero truth to a married or engaged or a relationship man to that. There's zero truth to that, and they know that. That's why they won't bring out any evidence for that. Well, they can, but there's no truth to that whatsoever. So those things are just...
Why did she say they can? Let's hear that again. She said they won't, but they... Wait.
Any evidence for that. Well, they can, but there's zero thing about that. But no, there's zero truth to a married or engaged or a relationship man to that. There's zero truth to that, and they know that. That's why they won't bring out any evidence for that. Well, they can, but there's no truth to that whatsoever. So
I don't get they can in here. She's saying they won't bring any evidence, but they can. If they can, this means that there is evidence. This is why they won't bring any evidence for that. Well, they can. If there is no evidence to that, then how come they can? Is this a slip? You tell me.
those things, we just put it to bed. And
we're going to talk about relationships particularly in Dubai and the emerging world. People are here to learn about how to leave the West, not just with their money and not just with their citizenship, but I think relationally as well.
Yeah.
But first, let's talk about this. I mean, what do you see as the future of dating and the rumor mill in a world of not only the internet, but now AI and people are creating content?
I think it's going to get more and more difficult to find long-lasting, healthy relationships, unfortunately, because the key route towards a lot of why people stay together is having a lack of alternatives. They pick somebody, they don't really have an alternative, and they make it work because that's how, the paradigm of having too much choices, it reduces yourself.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Did she actually say that a lot of why people stay together is having a lack of alternatives? So that's why people stay in marriages, because they don't have any other option. Not because they actually love each other, not because they choose to commit, not because they've spent a lifetime together and they truly understand each other and they have a good companionship, and it's just because of lack of alternatives. Cool.
Satisfaction. So the people with the least choices tend to have the most long-lasting relationships. As people become more successful and as they have more choices and as they've got places to live, people to meet, they've got businesses, their choices become so endless. And now we're injecting AI into that. It becomes difficult to remain completely satisfied with one person for the rest of your life when you are bombarded with so many alternatives. So I think, unfortunately, it's going to get a little bit trickier for certain cohorts.
I talked last.
I'm in disbelief. I'm in disbelief, honestly. I'm not a relationship expert. I leave that to the awesome Matthew Hussey, the amazing Esther Perel, if I said her name right. These people are amazing, right? And they will tell you that it's all about commitment, communication, not lack of alternatives. I'm speechless.
Night about the miracle of birth and me being born on one side of a lake and it's the United States, the other side is Canada, and to me these things are accidents. And I said it seems to me it's an accident that throughout history the best person in the world for you happened to be right down the block. In a world of increasing cultural understanding, it would seem like perhaps the best person.
I have an American friend married to a Nepali woman. Yeah, that's right around the corner. I had an Indian friend who had a 5-year or maybe 4-year relationship with an Austrian woman. Who else? Oh, just today I found out that one of our British friends is getting married to his Thai girlfriend, and they've been together for years and years, and they have a business together and everything. Oh, another Thai friend of a friend, married to, was he American? Yeah, American, and they've been married for years. I mean, interracial relationships have always been there.
For you is around the world. But to your point, how do you know when to stop? How do you know when, oh, okay, now I found the one?
I would always just say when the person doesn't have any deal breakers. The thing is, there's always going to be better people than your partner. 100 times prettier, stronger, richer. There's going to be better people than your partner. We're going to always...
I'm speechless again. Oh my God. Define better. Define better. Better is different from richer, stronger, prettier. If you find someone that is prettier than your partner, then you probably don't love your partner, in my point of view. I guess it depends on the person. There is a word, I think it's pansexual. It's when someone experiences romantic or sexual attraction to people of any gender, or regardless of their gender identity. No, that's not what I meant. What I meant is the word when you love someone for their personality, not their looks. I don't remember the word for that. Is it sapiosexual? No, sapiosexual has something to do with intelligence. Anyway, so usually when you truly love somebody, their looks mean nothing to you. They actually look prettier and prettier every day when you truly love them, you know? At least for me, when I love a person, whether romantic or friendship or whatever, I see their beauty on their face. But when I find out that someone has low values and less ethics, and the ugly inside comes outside. If you don't only have eyes for your partner, you're gonna find other people that are prettier and stronger and richer. So she's kind of confirming her belief that it's all about alternatives. We're just 4 minutes in. Come on, Sadia. Come on.
Be able to find better. But we're going to, if we use that lens, it's going to be endless. But if we use the lens of, do they have any deal breakers? And what I mean by deal breakers is any behavior that would make being married to them for a long period of time impossible. So you might have completely different values, or you might have a completely different background, or they might have a different religion, race, whatever it is that is a deal breaker for you. If that becomes a deal breaker and they have that, unfortunately, no amount of therapy or support is going to change that. So when you meet somebody who may not be the best thing ever, but they don't have any deal breakers, chances are you'll be able to have a long-lasting relationship with them.
What do you make of online culture now?
Okay, this makes sense. Dependent on your deal breakers, right? If they don't have these big deal breakers for you, your values align and everything, yeah, the chances are if you choose to commit and not look at alternatives and richer and prettier and all of that, you're gonna make it work. If you really choose to have honest communication and check in regularly with each other and how you showed up for each other and truly love each other, you know? I'm not gonna talk about relationships a lot. You can always go back to Matthew Hussey. He is freaking awesome.
What do you make of online culture now where a lot of men are saying, women don't want to take responsibility. They won't want to be accountable. They don't want to go to therapy or change.
Yeah.
It seems to me there may be some truth that with the women that these people are meeting.
Yeah.
I don't think it's all women.
Mhm.
Where do you think that comes from, and why do you think that so many men feel like they're just alone?
I understand why they feel that way, because what's happened is that therapy and self-help is taught from the lens of a woman. So a man and women will go into therapy and they'll teach you about love languages, they'll teach you about attachment stuff, how to be more loving and caring, and if you want more intimacy from your wife, you have to do more chores and you have to take it's all from the lens of a woman. The problem is it's not from the lens of masculinity or femininity. It's not from the lens of like actual raw, what makes men and women attached to each other. So you'll go to therapy and they say you need to listen more, you need to be more emotionally available. You basically have to become her sister that she wants to sleep with, which is an impossibility.
Yeah.
So why men are feeling like women take no accountability is because everything they're being taught, whether it's media, whether it's the therapy that they go to, or even the medicine that they take, is feminized. So in order...
Am I understanding this wrong? So, like, first of all, a lot of psychologists are men. The pioneers in psychology, the pioneers in hypnotherapy, coaching, that industry, the mental health industry, are men. Also, a lot of, like, there are tons of, again, Matthew Hussey. Jimmy, what's his name? His channel is Jimmy on Relationships or something. The guy who talks about narcissism, Jimmy on. Yeah, his channel is called Jimmy on Relationships. There are tons of men out there. That is A. B, if we're gonna talk about what women need, she's saying that it's feminized. Yeah, obviously, duh, it should be, because it's about what women need. So imagine this, okay? I need medicine for my cough. So I go to a mechanic? No, I go to the doctor, right? I want to understand how women think and how they need to be loved. So it has to be feminized. You have to understand women's psychology and women's point of views so you can give them what they need. Vice versa. For me to understand how men think, I don't go to my girlfriend and be like, hey, bestie, how do you think men think? No, I ask my guy friends. So, guys, what do you think about this specific point? How do you deal with that as a man? And each one of them is different, because not all men are the same, not all women are the same, not all people are the same. Everyone has their own defense systems. Everyone has their own beliefs. Everyone has their own values. Everyone has their own behaviors, traumas that are shaping their behaviors, thoughts, beliefs, everything. So back to the same thing that I said multiple times right now on this channel. Life is not black and white.
To be approved by women, you have to almost become a woman. And in the process of getting women's approval by becoming feminine, you lose yourself.
Also, wait. She said something about emotional availability, right? So she's saying you'll go to therapy and they say you need to listen more, you need to be more emotionally available. You basically have to become her sister that she wants to sleep with. So listening more and emotional availability is a feminine thing. Guys should not listen more, should not be emotionally available. Let me tell you something. Ask the women that you know in your life, and I bet you at least 30% of them were like, maybe I should try to be gay, because guys don't listen, guys aren't emotionally available. We need that. You know, we were like, ugh, the men that we knew don't do that. So let me try to see. Maybe I would love to be gay, you know? A lot of women have thought of this. I definitely have. That was when I had actually the black and white thinking. That's why I'm not really coming at her with full judgment, because as I said, we all have our beliefs, we all have our healing journey. Nobody is born like enlightened. Like even the Buddha was not born enlightened, So I had that black and white thinking, that's for sure. But when I started I started saying to myself, whoa, if I want a long-term relationship, I need to change my beliefs about men. So that's how it started. That's how I started to change my beliefs about black and white, everything that's black and white and blah, blah, blah. And now I hate the black and white thinking, If that's your girlfriend's and you're getting the emotional needs from your girlfriends and not from your man, then what is he there for? To pay bills? To have sex? That's it? I mean, that's just like getting a sugar daddy, And now we're in 2025. Women can pay their own bills. So what? Just sex? There are tons of sex toys out there. So no, it can't be just about that. And no, they shouldn't listen more and be emotionally. What is she saying?
Okay. Are you kidding? That's unfair. She made those. I need to calm down. Everything's fine.
Amanda.
I'm an adult.
Sex appeal. So they're then stuck. So they're the nicest guys who are the kindest, do all the chores, help their women around the house, help with the children, help with the nurturing, are stuck with no intimacy because they have no sex appeal left in them. So that's why they feel so hard done by, because they're thinking by the book, I'm doing everything right. And yet I'm being overlooked or...
Girl, come on. Like once a guy cooks for me or cleans, I'm like, oh my God, I'm melting. That's the sexiest thing ever. Just clean and cook and like that. That's actually, in my point of view, masculine. A guy who can take care of himself, not a baby who wants a mama that cooks and, what is that song? Jennifer Lopez. I'm gonna do your laundry, I ain't your mama. So that's not masculine at all. I guess, people have different points of views. So for her and her clients and the people that she's talking with, for them, a masculine person who is somebody who doesn't listen, who's not emotionally available, who wants a mama, great. I mean, you do you.
I'm being withdrawn from intimacy. If I'm married, I get no intimacy. And if I'm single, women are going for the bad guy. So I feel like women don't know.
Do women really go for the bad?
Let's talk about this. The women who go for the bad guy or the bad boy, the F-boy, are women in their 20s. Just a few years ago, I went for that. Once I hit my 30s, I was like, oh, I want the nice guy. I want the secure guy. I want somebody I can have a long-term, safe, routinic, boring relationship with, Just have a good routine. Somebody I can just sit with and feel safe with. I'm saying boring relatively to the bad guy. But that safe life means that you're noticing tiny things about each other and celebrating that. You're really being content with everything. Who wants excitement? Teenagers, girls in their 20s. Excitement is good for a specific time, But once you mature, you're gonna find yourself wanting a content, peaceful life. Somebody that you can have a good routine with, but on the weekends go crazy, go clubbing, go on a hike, go paragliding. Still do crazy stuff, try things in bed, you know, and reignite the spark. That is sexy. Not the bad guy. Again, the bad guy is a boy. If you want to go for a boy, then you're going to go for the bad guy. If you want to go for a man, then you're going to go for the nice guy. Okay, so this is just 7 minutes in, and the recording is already 30 minutes, so I'm gonna make it short and stop here and calm myself down, because we still have 30 more minutes in that video to go. This is interesting. What do you guys think? Tell me. What are the points that you agree with? What are the points that you disagree with? Whether with Sadia or with me. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And I'll see you in part 2 probably. This is interesting.